just got done making a video, but I ended up talking far too long because of this very bizarre set of circumstances that happened during the video. So I'm going to redo this and keep it super short. And I'm going to come back and make a second video for sure now that I know it was clearly on point. So what I was sharing, the gist of it, and again, I'll come back when I've done a little more integration. It may be a few weeks. So, but this is about moving into June and July, specifically the end of the second week into the third week of June, which I guess would be coinciding with summer solstice, and then kind of feels like the whole month of July. So what my video was about was how I have, I've been going through quite an interesting transformation, let's just say, in the last 4 or 5 months, really, last year or so, but still in that a bit. So what I have noticed as a part of that, though, is this expanded access. And at first I thought it was just because of what I was going through, to all realms and dimensions being much more fluid now, and there being an accessibility that wasn't there to the degree that I believe it now is. And so that's the gist of the message, and I gave some tips about how you can connect in just briefly. Again, I'll come back and do a second video, but briefly, you want to get yourself in nature. I like to sit beneath the stars, or sunrise or sunset, or my times, or anytime there's wind, because I love wind. But you may be different, like what connects for you in nature that is organic and that is of the earth in some capacity. So it may be the elements, it may be like walking barefoot on the grass, maybe you love rain like I do, or sunny days, the beach, the mountains. So try to get yourself preferably a daily practice, but get yourself out into nature in some form or fashion. And it could be as simple as like literally outside, just finding some trees to commune with, or there's like pine straw right here, and that sort of thing. It can be super simple. Clouds, but that is a way that we can begin to orient ourselves to the heart. I was talking a lot about how it's not the mind, it's the heart, and open our energy up to be receptive. And there's no specific thing you need to do. And what I was kind of mentioning was that there are multiple things that are more accessible. One of them, the primary thing that I made the video about, and I'll circle back to that in a second, is galactic energies. But in addition to that, angels, if you connect to the angelic realm, or would like to, ancestors, generational kind of, all kinds of lineage, starseed generations, soul family, and it goes infinite from there. So depending on your awareness of these kind of things, or your point in your own awakening process, some of those will resonate more than others. And so it can be as simple as you just want to connect in with yourself more powerfully for this significant shift. So we are in the year 6 of 7 in the passage to a new society, and then this larger transition into new earth, what's been called new earth by many, and I like to refer to it as a new era rich in love. It's really the move, or the transition, our transformation, our remembering who we are individually and collectively, and coming into the awareness that there is a matrix of soul from which we can operate, rather than the 3D, false matrix that is presented to us. So that's the gist of what I was sharing, but these very interesting synchronicities happened. So for one, I started the video, and it was, it was 4:44, and there was some other number that popped up on my screen. Now I can't remember, was it, I think it was 2:12. I got like a weird message when I started the video, and then there was some other little glitch that happened right there in the beginning. And then the video itself, because I talk so long, was 44 minutes and 44 seconds. Again, I'll come back and share some of that information. It's really it was too much, because what happened in the middle of the video, which is why I went on and on, it was the most uncanny, well, not uncanny, it was clearly getting me a message like, hello, yes, talk more about this, because it was like I had just said something to the effect of sharing that these the energies, the galactic energies, and the support that's here for us individually and in groups and communities, that will be more increasingly important in the future, and then collectively are more accessible. And I was sharing, some of the ways that that's been true for me. And I got this phone call, and my phone, I don't know why it was so loud. It was like, it rang super loud, more loud than normal. And I got distracted, and I looked down, and I cut the video off. I came back. I cut the video off because the name of the place, I don't know anybody in this place, but it's a place that I drove through about 2 to 3 years ago, and I had a very otherworldly experience right outside this town that this call came from. It was so strange, and so I stopped the video, and it wasn't a number I recognized, so I didn't answer it, and they did not leave a message. But that was very bizarre. And then I was talking a bit about that. Of course, reminded me of a bit about my own experiences that through the years that have come, where I suddenly, because I wasn't thinking, because my brain, it can be very hyper overactive at times, and it serves me well when I apply it in the right, for strategic things, and how to act when I have the instinct or impulse, and it can zip out, whatever I need, which is great. But sometimes it can get in the way. And what I was sharing after this happened, when I was recording the first video, was that there's that space that we can get into, and this is why nature connection can really, really assist here. It's an open field, and to be able to put ourselves in a more relaxed state and not think about, achieving anything or connecting with any specific, I'm not dissing the people who do connect with specific groups at all. I listen to some of those people, but that to me, that it's the opposite, that where my connections have come from. It literally, and those otherworldly experiences that I have had, like the one I was just mentioning, when that phone call came through, have been because I was in not an altered state, but a field of awareness that was so highly attuned and open to. And I'm doing this because that's another thing. It's so interesting. I do use my hands sometimes in healing work, but I've noticed of late that when I feel like information coming through, there's more movement than there used to be for me. I don't know if that's a new gift or what. The other thing in the earlier video, just to sum it up, was that I said I'm going to come back and make another video anyway, but was that that I am feeling a new flavor to some of the galactic things that are coming through, and I think that will be something that I'll bring through in some form or fashion. I'm not clear yet if it will be through creative offerings, like my writing and art or poems even, or if this will be more video based. But what I had invited you to do, and want to invite you again, is if you have topics, broad topics, ideas, or questions, not specific. I am not going to channel a specific, starseed lineage or like speak to what's, timelines that are coming. Well, I might speak to that in general ways, but not in, with specificity. This isn't about asking questions about galactic wars or anything like that. That's not my focus. Is going to be ushering in this new era of love, and how we can individually and collectively connect to the fullness the fullness of our origin and originality, our original blueprint and gifts, and then like a star map, lighting that up in such a way. And you know, STAR is an acronym I use for your soul's truth and radiance, but I'm feeling that there's definitely going to be a stream that is much more galactic in nature that's going to be coming through. Again, I don't know what form that's going to take, but if you do have ideas, suggestions, questions, you can send me an email through my website. The link will be in the description box below. Or you can leave a comment here and I'll see those eventually, and I'll check back before I make the next video, or you know, as I'm working on anything that I'm given to share specifically. So you know, I'm seeing this as probably coming through definitely in the next 6 months, you know, before the end of the year, but potentially this summer. And I'm just going to sit with that and give that some space. And I wanted to invite you, though, to be aware as we move into the second half of June and July. Be aware of finding a way to connect to the natural world in any way you can. Again, elements are really, for me, that always is, you know, something that connects me. I am, you know, very connected to wind, and so that always is a gift and a way for me to feel connected to, you know, kind of the universe, multiverse, cosmic realms. I think that I mentioned this already, but again, all of the dimensions of reality are much more fluid now, and there's a ease of navigation that was not there before. And from what they were showing me more recently, that is not just me. It's literally, I guess, related to the level of light that we now have access to. But it's a good time to open your field of awareness and to connect to your heart space and be present to any questions that arise, and to the connections that the heart is the gateway. And you know, it's like, was it E.T. that said that turn on your heart light? Yeah, I think so. I'll have to go back and watch that one sometime, but it's a good time to ensure that you protect a space, that sacred space within you. And even if you don't resonate with the galactic aspect, that's fine. You know, there's just the energy of life itself, the energy of creation, the creation principle, which is another thing I've been pulled back to. I talked about that a lot back when I was doing recreation circles, which I think was 14, 15. But that seems to be very present too, along with this whole galactic. It's like information and energetic information that's coming through. So it may even be, you know, back to the soul symbols that I did before. It may come through in that kind of form. But I feel like there will be a teaching element to it that will be given to me. And so I wanted to just invite you to, if you do have things that you would be interested, let me know. All right, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll be back at some point, you know, probably this summer, but for sure by the end of the year.